Hi everyone, this is Stacy Reynolds, and in this video I'm going to show you the steps of how to submit a manuscript through Editorial Manager. Most journals require a manuscript submission through an online portal, such as Editorial Manager or ScholarOne, though there are several other platforms. Before you begin the submission process, make sure to review the author guidelines before submitting. Often journals will require that you upload each document separately, such as the cover letter, title page, abstract, manuscript, tables, and figures. So check the author guidelines so you can have your documents prepared. Also, submitting a manuscript can be somewhat tedious. So if you're new to the process, I recommend that you set aside at least an hour to upload the documents and complete all required fields. Now, let's dive into submitting our manuscript. For this example, we'll be submitting it in Editorial Manager. Again, this is just one type of portal that may be used. So depending on the journal, submission may look differently. First, go to the journal's website. Here you would go under For Authors, Submit a Manuscript. Depending on the journal, you would be looking for a submission button. If you haven't submitted to the journal before, you would click Register and create an account. If you have submitted to the journal before, you would simply click Login, fill in your username and password, and click Author Login. On the main screen, you see a section for New Submissions with an option to submit a new manuscript. So we would click on this. Next, you'll go through all of the tabs required by the journal. For the Journal of Nursing Care Quality, the first thing is to select the article type from the drop-down. Here, we'll select Original Article and click Proceed. Next, we'll need to upload each of our manuscript files. You can do this either by dragging and dropping the files or by clicking the Browse button. First, I will upload my cover letter. And you can see down here now it's asking me to choose the type of item. So I will select cover letter. You can also add the name cover letter to the description column here. This simply adds a short title to the document itself. After we uploaded that one document, you'll see to the far left that there is a list in red stating that for this submission, we are required to upload a title page, abstract, and manuscript. If you don't upload all of these documents, you'll be unable to submit your manuscript. So these items are also noted with an asterisk in the list: title page, abstract, and manuscript. So next, let's click on title page and upload this. Now we will upload our abstract. And then the manuscript. You can see now that all of these have changed to green, letting us know that all of the required documents have been uploaded. For this submission, we also have one table, so we'll upload that now. and we also had one figure. If you want to reorder the documents, for example, let's say we want the figure to come before the table because that's how it's ordered in the manuscript, you can simply click and drag the figure to be on top of the table. You can also reorder the numbers here and click Update File Order, and it will update the order in which the documents are listed. Next, click Proceed. For the next section, you will need to respond to all of these questionnaire items. The first one is about open access. Open access is where the author pays a fee if the manuscript is accepted to help increase the dissemination of the article. Open access fees can be several $1,000s, so unless you have a grant or other funds that can cover this, you can select No and have it published using a subscription model. Now we'll go through and answer all of these items. Here's a question that says, is your article or research funded by the NIH? I'm going to select No. And depending on the journal, some of these items may differ. Next, I will hit Proceed. When I did this, you see there is a big red exclamation mark here. Whenever you see this in one of these tabs, it means that something is missing and you won't be able to move forward with submitting your manuscript. So let's go back to this tab by clicking on it and see what we may have missed. Here you can see that I didn't complete this required section. Any item that has a red answer required and please select a response must be answered. I will click I agree, come down here and hit Proceed. Now you'll see that there is a green check mark letting me know that all of the required items were answered. For the next tab, you can enter any additional comments you would like to send to the editorial staff. But this is not required, so I'm going to hit Proceed. Next, you'll need to complete details related to your manuscript. First, it will ask you for the full title. Sometimes the system is able to pull this over from your title page, but sometimes there are glitches, like you can see here. So I will simply copy and paste my title page. Here I will simply copy and paste my title and hit Next. Now I need to copy and paste my Now I will need to copy and paste my abstract. And I will click Next. Next, it asks for keywords and states that they should be separated by semicolons. I have keywords listed also on my abstract, so I will go to my abstract here and copy and paste them over. I will then go in and make sure that I change all of my commas to semicolons. And I will hit Next. Now we need to add all of our authors in this author section here. You can see that it pulled over a lot of my information, and I'm listed as the corresponding author and the first author, but I can click this little pin and make sure everything is entered correctly. This all looks right, so I'm just going to hit this Save button, but I need to add my second author. If I had a third co-author to add, I could click this Save and Plus button to add another author. But since I only have one co-author, I'm just going to hit Save here. If I needed to, I could also click and drag to change the order of authors. I'm going to change it back and say that I am listed as first author and Dr. Granger is listed as second. Now I'm going to hit Next. Now, if you have a funding source, you would add it here. If not, click Build PDF for approval. You may be asked again if you want to publish as open access. Here we will select No and click Proceed. It may take the system a few minutes to generate the PDF of all the documents you uploaded. Once Action Links is showing, you can hover over it and click View Submission. Now carefully go through the PDF to make sure everything looks okay. So here we have our title page, our abstract, And oops, you can see here that I accidentally uploaded the draft of our manuscript instead of the final version. So I will need to go in and fix that. But let me move forward and see if there's anything else that I need to fix. I'll scroll to the end here. And the figure and the table came through okay. So I only need to fix the manuscript. So here we will go back, hover over action links, and click Edit Submission. I will go to the Attach Files tab. And you can see here, I uploaded the manuscript draft. So I'm going to click this little box here to the far right and click Remove. I will come up here, select Manuscript, and make sure that I am selecting the final manuscript. And here you can see that it placed manuscript down here at the bottom. So I'm going to click and drag so it's after the abstract. Okay, everything looks good. So I'm going to come up here, go to the last manuscript data tab, and once again click Build PDF for approval. Again, I will hover over action links and click View Submission. And I will scroll through to make sure that I did indeed upload the correct document, which looks like I did. So now I can go back here, hover over action links, and click Approve Submission. Once you do this, your manuscript will officially be submitted to the journal, and you'll also receive an email verifying that the manuscript was submitted. You can also go back to the main menu and see submissions being processed with a 1 next to it, indicating that your manuscript has been submitted and is now being processed by the editorial staff. If there is a 1 instead over this incomplete submissions or submissions waiting for author's approval, that means you still have some steps to do for it to be officially submitted to the journal. To recap this video, we discussed how to follow the journal's guidelines and editorial manager prompts for submitting a manuscript to an online portal. As you can see, it's a somewhat tedious, time-consuming process, so be sure to allow enough time to complete all the necessary components. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next video.